Hello YouTube and welcome to another video, and this time I have something I had not done in a long time, and it's Pokemon Showdown. I have not touched Showdown in a long while. Maybe my last Pokemon Showdown was still 5th gen and it was around September, I guess. But right now I'm putting myself to work on 6th gen stuff, and I have this good match against, let's see, I don't remember, GamingShawn, and I'm on the other side of the screen, so he will obviously want to start with his Smeargle in order to have his hazards as soon as possible, but Smeargle is bad against Rotom Watch, that's why I start with it. And I will Volt Switch into Talonflame, and hopefully that Smeargle will die. But no, my opponent is smart and he switches out into his Gastrodon, or her Gastrodon, because that's a girl. Obviously my Flare Blades won't do anything to that Gastrodon, and I will switch into my Rotom Watch. I will take the burn with that Scald, and I will be forced to go into Starmie, but he doubles, he switches out into his Smeargle, then he doubles into Goodra, and even though I carry Ice Beam, I think the best thing I have to take on Goodra is Tyranitar. That's why I switch out into Tyranitar, and my Sand will be good because that means my Tyranitar is now a monster. But this Gastrodon will be so annoying the whole battle. Like, seriously, so annoying. I really have nothing to deal one-on-one with this Gastrodon. My best way to deal with it will be using Toxic with my Gliscor, which is the only thing I have Toxic on. That's not good because maybe, and just maybe, that Gastrodon will be able to one-hit knockout my Gliscor if I'm not careful enough with that. I finally decide to switch into my Starmie to see what I can do, and right here I do the risky move of going for Gliscor and Toxic this Gastrodon, and I live, I can't believe it, I live an Ice Beam, and obviously I don't want to stay, so I will switch back into my Starmie, which has been doing a very good job dealing with this Gastrodon, but my opponent knows that I won't want to stay, so he switches out into Medicham, and this is not a good match for him, so we'll double out into Goodra, and now that Goodra is basically gone because it's so dead right now. Right here I did the bad move of going for Psyshock, knowing that she had a B-Sharp, but that's okay, and I really did not fear the Pursuit. I have not seen Pursuit on B-Sharp in a long time, and she will go for Sucker Punch, which is great because that means my Talonflame will come and will not take any bit of damage. Obviously, she does not want to take a Brave Bird or Flare Flare, so she will go into Gastrodon, and here we go again. I will stall that Gastrodon with my Starmie, and I decide, okay, he will most likely will go into Goodra, so let's Ice Beam in case he tries to do something funny. There's a Ferrothorn. I thought that this was the best moment for me to go into Gliscor in order to have a free Roost, but that was not the case because my opponent is running Power Whip, and now I think my Gliscor has even more damage than when it came out into the game. So I decide I will go to Talonflame, and my opponent is trying to get Medicham to Mega Evolve, but since I went out into Talonflame, that Medicham will not appreciate a Brave Bird. So she will decide to fodder her Smeargle. I'm sorry, I'm not used to facing girls, so okay. I finally get rid of that Smeargle, which means no hazard for me. My Talonflame is safe, all my Pokemon are safe, and I decide that I can try to see if I can take one-on-one this Gastrodon with my Starmie, but that is not a good match for me. But I have Natural Cure, which is great, so I decided to go into T-Tar because I thought T-Tar could take whatever hit he wanted to go for. But no, she decides to switch into Ferrothorn and Protect to see what I'm going to do. And right here I'm going to do a very risky move. I did Crunch, and my next turn I decided, okay, there's no reason for me to keep T-Tar, and it will be great for me to Crunch this Ferrothorn just like that. That way I will have a free switch into whatever I want. And that's a dead Ferrothorn, which is always great. But now I have to deal with the 3 most annoying Pokemon that my opponent has, which are that freaking Gastrodon and that Bisharp, because I don't have anything to take one-on-one with those two. I mean, my Talonflame will be great against her Bisharp and her Medicham, but I need to get free switch into those two. And I know that my Rotom, now that her Gastrodon is poison, toxic poison, it will be able to deal 1-1 with Gastrodon, because if that Gastrodon stays long enough into the game, basically toxic poison will get rid of it. And that's my plan right now. I think that Gastrodon will be the most annoying thing to deal with right now, and my opponent realizes then that my strategy right now in order to win is to stall that Gastrodon. And I had no reason not to go for Will-Wisp, so that's just what I did. I don't have anything to touch this Gastrodon with this Rotom, but if she decides to leave her Gastrodon out for such a long time, as I told you before, toxic poison will be able to take it down. And it doesn't matter if she tries to toxic me, because I have rest, and there's no way that this Gastrodon will take down my Rotom Watch in 1 hit, 2 hits. I think even 4 hits won't be enough, because she simply has nothing to do to this Rotom. And I mean, she will recover, Scald, she has Recover, Scald, Toxic, and I forget the other move. Ice Beam. So here I decide that my best thing to do is going to Gengar, just because I can try to make the process faster, and I will go into Gengar when he decides to go for a high jump kick, which is great because now that Medicham is pretty much dead. And right here comes the Bisharp, and the only thing I have to deal with Bisharp is this Talonflame. And I really need this Talonflame to be in good health. Now this is the second Sucker Punch that my opponent has wasted, and that's great for me. I mean, she's behind a sub, that will be annoying, but I can live with that. Even though she's the source then said, I think I'm in a very good position, because as you just saw, that Iron Head will do nothing, and if I'm able to predict when my opponent will use Sucker Punch, and in those turns I use either Bulk Up or Roost, basically I will win this. And my opponent is trying to go very greedy. She goes for another Source Dance, and right here I'm thinking, okay, you want to play that game? I can play that game too. I can go all up to +6, but guess what? I will have +6 in attack and defense, and you will only have +6 in attack. So I will have everything I need to win. And as we have seen already, this set is Source Dance, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, and Substitute, which means that the only move that she has to try to one-hit knockout this Talonflame is Sucker Punch. And as I told you before, if I'm able to predict when she will be using Sucker Punch, that means I have the game. And this is a long stally battle, and to be honest, What I really needed was to get rid of that substitute, and right here I was so scared that after that sucker punch that I could not predict Talonflame will be dead, but that is just what happens when you bulk up to +6. And now, basically, as soon as my opponent over predicts or she decides to not use Sucker Punch when she needs to, it's pretty much game for me, because this Talonflame up to +6 will be able to one-hit KO her Gastrodon. And right now I decide to ruse, I'm stalling again, and that's another Sucker Punch that is gone, but I really don't care right now because now it's not behind a sub, and I will be able to Flare Blitz this B-Sharp, and right now my opponent has nothing to do with this Talonflame, which is at +6. And that was a very interesting game because I know it was basically a 5-0 game, but I really had nothing to deal with that Gastrodon, and her mistake was basically letting me to Toxic that Gastrodon. That was what cost her that game. I will try to keep this as a more frequent videos. I will try to to have it more often, and I hope you guys enjoy this part of my YouTube channel. So that was the battle. I know, it's basically a 5-0, but I think it was very interesting because it was in the end it was a very prediction oriented game, and that's what gave me the game. So I will see you all guys next time.